with regards to John, I own a URCC league. It's a URCC Global. It's a mixed martial arts league. It's a global league wherein it's very popular. This is the first MMA league na Philippines ang may-ari. But in Asia, it is a big mixed martial arts league. John is our champion. Was our champion for 2 consecutive years, 2018 and 2019. He's the champion, he's a welterweight champion of the URCC. So I've been thinking for how many weeks now, who will be my candidate? Kasi hindi nga pala i-start yung Mr. World, no? There are some names na pumasok, but unfortunately, may maraming requirements. But when I thought of the idea, I want someone, because I remember when I brought Andrew Wolf in Mr. World. He's an athletic, he's a rugby player. So I want something like that. Ayoko lang ng masyadong glamour boy or a pageant boy or a model or something. I wanted an athletic, sporty, good-looking, good moral character, pleasing personality, and intelligent man who can represent our country in the international stage. So, wala na. Sinabi ko na, I think that's John Adar. He's a public servant. He has the epitome of the criteria of the Mr. Supranational, and he is a 2-time world champion. So, I think for that thing, na world champion ka, so meron tayong at least may X-factor na, di ba? Na pwede natin i-promote sa Supranational that our candidate is a world champion. So, yun na. Siya na di na ako nagpa-contest. Sabi ko, i-appoint ko na lang because I think he's a perfect candidate for the Philippines.
Kaya nagpa-screen ba si John?
Hindi na siya nagpa-screen. Tinignan ko na yung mga photos niya. And then I found out that he had an experience of a pageant 5 years ago. So may experience na siya sa international. Experience niya how to do pageant, how to join pageant. But at the same time, experience niya to compete into international sports. So the confidence is there. So yun na, siya na yung kinuha ko.
So nung John, this is Tristan from the Philippine Pageantry. So when ALB contacted you and chose you to be the Philippine representative to Mr. Supranational in Poland, and you have an experience 5 years ago, just like what he mentioned, ano yung feeling na ikaw magiging si Mr. Philippines?
I was totally shocked because Boss told me end of June, and then they told me that I'm going to compete for the Mr. Supranational. But
yeah, I called you.
I mean, the team called me, and then they wanted me to compete for the Misters, and then I was actually shocked because I thought I was already done with the pageant industry because I changed career, which is MMA. After my pageant years, I switched career to MMA. So what I thought is I'm done with it, but you know, you can never say no once you have the opportunity. So, and it's an honor to represent the country again.
Before we talk about your MMA background, let's talk about your pageant background because we don't know much about it. So can you tell us more about it?
Wala ka talaga alam mo si Palo ko. Joke lang. No, way back when I was still a teenager, I competed in our city, the city of San Pablo. I was the Mr. Coco Fest, and that festival itself is they call it the Coco Fest. So I'm the Mr. Coco Fest 2007. That was a long time ago. So yeah, and then I competed in Laguna 2014. In 2014, And then the following year, this 2015, I have to represent our city, our province for the national pageant. So the Laguna province chose me to represent the province for the ministers of the Philippines.
Filipinas.
Yeah. You know, Neil Perez, 2014, coming in. Where did we
Great
that?
area.
And Neil Perez won as Mr. International. So now, can you give us a good look out to what can we expect to your participation in Mr. Supranational?
This supranational, what I learned is supranational is more on the sports, and I'm into sports. I'm in the sports industry, and I know I'm athletic, physically fit, and you know, when it comes to mind games, I always excel for it. So let's go.
But in pageantry, besides the sports, and also you know that male candidates show more flesh. So, and you already have experience with that, right? In joining the Coco pageant and Mr. Philippines.
Yeah, I have experience. Plus, whenever I fight, I always wear crowns.
Yes. Can you give us a sample?
For sure, kasi kapag, di ba? I think I have,
Ang bottom mo naman
you can see all my fights on YouTube, so.
No, not like. Kasi I'm not able to see you kasi sa Mr. Supranational.
Ano ba?
Bless God, God bless.
Anyway, you seem to be a good choice for as a Filipino representative, and this will be the first time that the Miss World Philippines organization under ALB will be sending one. So we have high hopes. So that is a heavy pressure on your shoulder, but definitely as an MMA fighter, you know how to deal with that, right?
Yes, but
So bubugin ba natin mga kalaban doon?
yung last press na tanong sa akin, what is my election? Sabi ko, kung suntukan na, sure na tayo.
Bubugin ba natin? Paano natin bubugin ang mga kalaban natin doon?
Bubugin natin sa pagmamahal.
Umpisahan mo muna sa amin. Kailangan ebidensya muna, di ba?
Dapat tahimik ko. Smile.
Ang bilis ko, pastok!
Kaya nga, di ba? Dapat gano'n, that we should know. But then, good luck. And then, I'll have
Thank
more
you.
questions for you later.
How was your transition from being a MMA fighter na ngayon pageant at paano yung preparation mo kasi malapit na yun?
Actually, the preparation is too short for us for the pageant, for this pageant because they called me last June and I weighed 95 kilos because everyone gained weight this pandemic, right? So I weighed 95 kilos and after 3 weeks, right now I'm 85 kilos. So 10 kilos yung binawas ko for 3 weeks, span of 3 weeks. So
Sana po.
ang secret dyan nagpapabugbog.
Ano?
Eh, yung lose weight talaga.
Gusto mo ka mo ba?
Jay, volunteer! Jay!
Bugto ng pagmamahal.
Bubugin daw ng pagmamahal. So guys, those who are watching us,
Parang kinikilig tayo lahat dito.
How do you deal with the pressure since Philippines is also expecting for a crown since Philippines have never won any Mr. Supranational?
Yes.
The
Pressure?
Yeah.
Of course, the pressure is high because, and it's very challenging. And you know, I always have challenges. I will never compete without any challenges. So the pressure here is high, very high, because if ever, I'm gonna take the title for the first time, and will be the pride of the Philippines. So it's always an honor to represent my country.
Alright, I have a question. Since you were recently appointed lang, with only a few more days to go, which aspect of the competition or training are you focusing right now? Modeling, pagpapalaki ng katawan,
I'm
fitness?
actually excited with the dancing.
ay,
Dancing. Yes, there are a lot of dancing.
See, ako na tatanong mo.
Yeah, there are a lot of dancing
Yeah,
segments.
there's gonna be a lot of dancing, and I'm a struggle dancer. So I love challenges. So willing to learn more from dancing, like a Chinese tattoo dancing.
Tapos, ano?
Kanina mo yung isang.
Oo nga, kaya nga, ngayon, in-stop check niya. In-stop ko na, binanggit ko ba?
Sige na.
Wala, I'm more
Sige na,
excited.
sabi ni ALB, sige na.
Do it na.
Boss,
Music.
hindi mo weigh in.
Hip hop.
Oo nga, weigh-in na, wala kang suot eh, go. Weigh-in sa pageantry.
Anyway, I'm glad to be part of this organization. So, let's do this. Not so much.
Larry is the side. So I started you and I think my question has been answered already. One thing, things that you're focusing is the dancing. So, anymore, aside from that.
Of course, the sports challenge. Because since when I was a kid, I always excelled in sports. Basketball, I did basketball, swimming, table tennis, badminton, lawn tennis, you name it. Huwag lang synchronized swimming. So, hindi ko talaga kaya yun.
How about the glam side?
Sorry?
The glamour side.
The glamour side.
It's a model.
Yeah, I did some ramp modeling before, so yeah. What are the background in fighting, glamour days?
How tall are you?
I stand 6 flat.
Okay.
Yung ba tanong mo?
Yeah, kasi as we all know sa male pageantry, height is might eh. So I would have wanted to ask, di ba, you'll be syempre facing against all these taller contestants. So how do you think you will really stand out talaga? Kasi pare-pareho na kayo ng height, physical attributes.
I'm never intimidated by the height kasi. Like me, as an MMA fighter, they always look at me as the villain in everything. Because I'm a fighter. And you know, I have the aura of being the badass in the class. And then I never get intimidated with the taller guys. So it's like walking in the park with a lot of pace.
But will that be against your being a Filipino representative since you are looked at as a fighter and as a villain? Paano ka magiging bida sa title?
But have you watched The Maleficent?
Ikaw ngayon sa tingin mo, pinanood namin Maleficent. Puro straight dito, pinapanood namin MMA fighting.
When you watch Maleficent, she's always the villain. Pero siya ang bida, right?
Meron siyang backdrop na, may backdrop siyang story.
Have you seen my tattoo?
No, I want to see it now.
Ay! Sinabi ko
Alam mo,
ba yun?
ALB pangatlong beses na siya nagsasabing gusto ka na.
Bakit gano'n?
Sige na.
It's Maleficent. You'll see soon.
No.
Pasabog.
No, yun
May pasabog yan.
Hindi naman sa
Relax.
hindi kasi siya ma-appreciate kapag ka nasa
Photos lang, yes.
or sa mga videos lang.
Meron?
Push talaga.
Oh, sige, sige na nga.
Boss, sabi ko sa'yo, ibang feeling ko talaga dito. Ibang feeling ko.
Teka, gusto niyo ba ayaw niyo?
Siyempre.
Babae.
Maarte ba?
Mama Tay, may ayaw.
Maarte ba?
Sige na, magbubad ka nga sa bansa eh.
Sabihin, maganda siya.
Oh, yun nga po. Pwede po.
I spent
Pero
18 hours for
as
this.
pageant aficionados and pageant experts, we are the judges to say kung maganda ang pangit.
Parang naka-live tayo ah.
Oh, ladies, gusto niyo ba?
Hindi, mamaya na daw pagtapos na ng live. Mamaya na daw.
No cam, no cam.
No, come daw.
Sige,
Pwede naman siya i-edit.